This must because all is the treasure. I cannot forget absolutely.
允善，都下课了，为什么还在念书呢？稍微放松一下吧。
Oh, she was like a friend, maybe? I have no time to waste in boring entertainments and topics.
无聊啊。
Yep, boring. So if you have nothing urgent, do not bother me, okay?
但是，无聊的娱乐跟对话都是人生的一部分啊，允善。
I was arrogant, self-righteous in my dream, and even had an idea that everyone is a fool except me. Of course, numbers of people were far away from me because of this bad characteristic. Nevertheless, in this classroom or in the school, there's a strange maiden who was willing to talk with me. Although I could not see her appearance, but there was no doubt that she was the same person with the ghost according to her voice.
每次考试都能拿到全年级第一，全市第10，是很值得高兴的事情吧？不过啊，偶尔放松一下也不是什么坏事啊。
It seemed that the maiden could not notice my cold and arrogant. Well, actually, she was pretending. She showed her warm smile as sunshine, which can also melt into the iceberg.
怎么了？
You're a freak.
人家要生气了，为什么这么说？
In the class, or in the whole school, no one likes me, but you're willing to chat with me.
照这么说，你的意思是你也愿意跟我聊天啦？
Wow. The maiden smiled happily.
允善，你在做的不是老师布置的题吧？
Of course, you gotta do it. The maiden was trying to ask something I might interest in rather than I disliked. Although I hated wasting my time on chatting, games at that time, but she still made an effort to talk with me for nothing, so I chose to compromise.
那个允善，
Yep. There are some exercises I bought at the bookstore in next town, and I finished what school sent to us, but there are not enough to master knowledge in deep.
我们才高2哦，现在就要这么紧张的学了吗？
If not, it's hard to keep the first rank in our grade, or the top 10 in downtown.
唉，允善，你也真是不容易呢。
Look, she's talking with that guy.
Oh, really? That arrogant boy that will talk to others in the same level?
But maybe because it's her.
You're right. I think no one will like her in our school.
He is a man, but he is arrogant.
Right, haha.
I was talking with the maiden, both cold and warm continuously. We quickly drew my classmates' attention. Man, there were some retarded voices I made up. As a man who had high visibility in the bad aspect, I knew that the maiden in front of me was an opposed personality type.
允善，你除了学习之外，还有什么兴趣吗？
Love? No, I don't know. Is there an interest of eating watermelons?
你们家的院子一定很大吧？
The houses in the town are almost the same.
我不是唐英镇的人啦。
Ah, I see.
有机会的话，我能到允善你的家里去玩吗？
Oh, this? Okay.
太好了！
She was outgoing, a little dependent, but not annoying. She had long black hair, refined facial features, and a nice figure. These made her very popular. From then on, the maiden always chatted with me after class every day. At the beginning, I disliked her frequent showing up, but later I adapted to it. Long times later, I'd feel like a fish out of the water when she did not come to me. Unconsciously, she had become indispensable to me. Therefore, on some day, I asked the maiden a question by a simple impulse. May I ask you a question?
允善，你居然会主动问我事情呢？怎么啦？
Why do you like talking with me? I didn't like to get in touch with people and things except study. But even though I was an arrogant man, I knew myself. I shouldn't have become friends, especially a nice, enthusiastic girl like her.
那当然是因为喜欢云山你啦。
Without any warm-up, without any prelude, the maiden told me the answer just like took the words for granted.
想要跟喜欢的人聊天，很奇怪吗？
Like me?
对呀。
I have unattractive character, bad behavior, and I can do nothing apart from study. I look down upon you at the past. Why do you like me?
一定要说的话，就是喜欢上了云山你学习时认真的表情吧。
Wow. She was not staggered for what I said straightforwardly. On the contrary, her smile became more firm. You're really a freak.
也许是吧。
You don't argue against me this time?
如果不否认这一点，云山你就能接受我的心意的话，那我很乐意接受这个事实。
What a true person. You... Oh, you can see her face. Her pure smile stuck into my heart deeply at that time. Although the smile was enveloped by something, but I recall these things now, and I know I cannot forget anymore. Yet the strange dream is ended with a smile. After waking up, I opened my eyes, seeing the familiar ceiling in my room. Oh. At my side is my present lover. She breathes regularly, just like a lullaby in summer, letting me want to fall asleep again. If I have to tell you a reason, I fell in love with your serious face when you were studying. However, when the words the maiden said is echoing in my mind again, I am not sleepy any longer. Is it in the morning? The dream is ended suddenly. Probably not for this. 6:25. I looked at the clock on the bedside table. You often wake up about 7 or 8 o'clock. If the dream is ended there not by chance, but for some indications, I'm afraid the answer is. Maybe what I don't want to recall is the bad things after that night. Now, she is a ghost. It means she's gone. So I can guess probably what happened that night. No matter how the process is, I can sure that the last part of the dream that didn't tell is a sad story. But I just don't understand. From the beginning to the end, I never recall the maiden's name. Not only myself, in the dream, everyone seemed to ignore the parts of her name. It's almost like if someone remembered the maiden's name, everything will end up. If someone touched the key, the story will be over. Because of this, the maiden threw her name away. Yep, but now you belong to me only. Suddenly, I remind of what Jingxuan said at school. That's a natural feeling, but now I realize the word now shows quite a sudden whatever. Yep, I am Jingxuan's boyfriend now. But it's just now. So far in my life, about love, it's not just owned to Jingxuan. So, actually, I lied to Jingxuan. I'm murmuring to myself while smoothing on her hair. I should tell Jingxuan the whole story sometime. It must be finished no matter for Jingxuan, for that girl or for myself.
云山，
Oh?
喂，云山，
Juvenile?
救命啊！云山聋了，
Who's deaf?
那为什么不理我啊？
Isn't it an open and shut case? I'm studying. After class, the maiden went out from the small group which she often gathers with. Then she came to the juvenile like a little hamster with a smile. The juvenile who called Yunshan delivers the information, don't close to me, to everywhere obviously, but the maiden acted like she did not notice the atmosphere around him, went for the juvenile, and asked others to step out for a while. After the other boys leaving, the maiden sat in. The juvenile had noticed her before she sat down, but he chose to ignore her because he put learning in a priority position, if he could. As a result, in the case of the maiden cannot stop horsing around, the juvenile put aside the text, gazing on her.
可以一边学习一边跟我聊天的吗？
Is that even possible? Actually, it is. The efficiency of learning would be poor, so if you have nothing else to do, please let me study first. When I'm free, I'll chat with you.
那你什么时候有空？
Summer vacation? That is long. By the way, it's the beginning of May now, at least 1 month before the vacation. Then before that time, just let me...
明明人家都说了喜欢你了，云山你的态度却一直还是这么冷淡。
Come on, Juvenile or Yunshan. Being rejected to chat, the maiden mutters the feeling because of some anger and discontent. But her feeling made the juvenile stop his thought of paying attention to the book, and he was choked by the trick pink atmosphere everywhere. You. She's pissed. A few days ago, the maiden who had a good-looking as well as cheerful personality had become the focus morning class, chatting with the juvenile for the reason that I love you. You're looking when you're studying. Oh my god. From then on, there are some changes of him, who had put study in the first place. Although, so far this was some changes only for this maiden. Yet even if so, there's few changes that it's hard. Why is it's disappeared that it's hard to chat briskly? Are you mad? Can you tell? She is. She's like pouting her lip, just like a ball, which showed that she's definitely angry, but she's never gonna leave. Upon seeing this case, knowing she probably wanted Chase to an answer from herself, so the juvenile was shaking his head helplessly. And then he spoke out the answer when he's putting a book on the desk. We made a deal to stay with you for a while.
真的？
When the boy promised that he was willing to chat with her, the cheeks she puffed out, just like a punctured balloon, returns to usual round, and the unhappy face was eliminated together with it. Then she turned to the juvenile once again, as lovely as a pet, and twisted her head slightly, waiting for conversations may have. You pretended to get mad just now. The juvenile thought about it while looking at the maiden. State beforehand, chatting with me may be very depressed because I have no interest in things except study. So I don't know anything interesting, but also don't know the interesting speaking style.
没关系啦，能跟云山聊天我就很开心了。
The maiden was smiling sweetly. It's so good if you like that. Then both of them were talking after class. Actually, most of the time, the maiden expanded the topics, led the topic, and ended the topic, and the juvenile just replied some of them occasionally. But even though, the maiden also looked very happy. Some members of the small groups which took her as a center were back to their places, staring at both of them poorly. And then, for some, it's so long, but for another, it's a short period before the bell rang for the class.
哇，这么快就上课了？
Thanks to talking a lot during a short time.
我跟喜欢的人聊天的时候，话可是说不完的。
In some ways, it's a really cool ability.
那么下一节课下课的时候，我们再聊吧，云山。
The maiden is standing up and shaking her hand while saying this, and then she's back to her seat. Chatting again. We chat a lot just a few minutes, or say I have heard a lot of things. Even though he said so, he's also looking forward to something in his mind. The evidence is that he's smiling unconsciously while he's complaining, although it's only a marginal rise.
云山，这一题怎么解？
Are you asking me seriously?
为什么这么说？
About the solution, The teacher has already repeated it for over 5 times.
真的假的？我没有印象哎。
Ah, my god. My ass hurts for sitting on the chair so long. You...
那这不就是不能错的问题吗？怎么办啊？
Probably cannot go wrong.
雨神大老师，救救我！唯独只有这个问题不能错啊！
Okay, I'll help you. Let my arms out.
谢谢你。
This question. It's a math class today originally, but the teacher asked for a leave temporarily and could not find the other teacher at the same time, so it is a study hall in the end. But due to the next math class is scheduled on regular tests, the class provides some confident students time to rest and the rest of the students have time to struggle. If it was the time before knowing the Maiden, perhaps the juvenile will learn the new content when other classmen are still struggling for the test. But after knowing the Maiden, he could not only put down the temptation brought from the knowledge that he hadn't learned yet, and accompanied her to review the content he had known perfectly. More exactly, he helped the Maiden pass the next regular at least. There's no doubt that the Maiden was the focus in the class, but on the other hand, she also had confidence, and she couldn't pass without luck in study. To a brief, she's an idiot. Maybe it's this feeling, get it? The Maiden was nodding her head firmly. Alright, you got it. It seems that you're rather smart, just lazy at ordinary times.
老师完全不懂，
Hey.
麻烦再教我一遍。
Okay, I'll speak slow this time and try to explain more details of the process.
不愧是云慎，最喜欢你了。
Your confession at this time seems cheap.
也是呢，对不起。
Alright, then let's continue. Later, the classroom remained unusual quiet because of the tension caused by the regular math test in next class. Even though the teacher was not here, only they two were talking. Juvenile tried to keep it low, while Maiden responded to him without caring the surroundings. Usually, most of the students would get angry when they wanted to keep a quiet learning atmosphere while someone was speaking loudly. However, the status quo was that no one expressed discontent in the classroom. On one hand, the one who spoke a little bit loud but not noisy enough to bother their study was a key man of the class. For the other hand, what the boy was talking about was exactly what most of them cared about or want to know clearly. Although the boy's character was not that charming, it was undeniable that he's the most talented one at the school in terms of study in the recent decade. Therefore, with regard to the examination, everyone did want to hear some useful information from him.
Excuse me.
When the situation of the girl's learning or tutorial progressed smoothly, a girl near them, strictly juvenile, turns around and blushingly accosted them in a shy voice.
怎么了，玲丽？
Ling. I have a math problem and I wanna ask.
我？
No.
哎，也是呢，我明明都在让人教呢。
Lol. The girl is laughing cheerfully. What problem? The boy turned to Lingli, knowing that she wanna ask him math problems.
Would you like to tell me?
Well, aren't you going to ask me?
Yes, thanks. Here.
What? Is there anything strange?
不，没什么，你赶紧教玲丽吧。
This?
Yeah.
Actually, this one is easy. You see here? The maiden detached her attention from reviewing temporarily when the juvenile was teaching. Then she fixed her eyes on them, smiling. The reason why she smiled was plain, because she observed something he hadn't noticed yet. As before, he might ignore what Lingli said.
Well, I know. Thank you.
No worries, it's an easy one.
I wonder whether I can ask you if there are any other questions.
Sure. Thank you. Oh my god, that was so cringy. After getting the boy's reply, the girl named Lingley returned to her seat with satisfaction, and did not know why. Her cheek and ears were more blushing than before.
女生，你如果愿意改改你的性格的话，应该会有不少人喜欢你吧？
Yes, Yun-chan. Come on, get the girls in. Why did you say this suddenly? Do you bump your head for learning too much?
你一定什么都不懂吧？
Hey, what's wrong with you?
没什么，听不懂就算了。好了，继续吧，允山
It's
老
better
师。
she doesn't explain it to him, so she can keep him to herself. You're an absolute crank.
嗯哼，
Oh, The maiden expands her chest proudly. I'm not praising you.
好了，别浪费时间了，我们继续吧。
Yeah, if you waste more time in this way, you might fail the exam.
别在考试前说这么不吉利的话。
Ouch, painful. Why did you hit me? Perhaps the change took place in the area where he's good at. Study, so he didn't observe reality. His world slightly enlarged. While it happened after the maiden talked to him and got along with him, it was already been a long time when he realized his own world had expanded by several times, even 10 times after her joining. At least the foolish, swaggering, and arrogant boy still perceived.
好厉害！我居然考到了70分，这还是我进入高中以来第一次考到这么高分啊！
That's a bit sad, actually. That's a bit sad.
谢谢你，云山大老师。如果没有你，
The highest score
我现在一定
I
跟
can
以
get
前
is
一样
just
是不及格吧
I？ can't even get 100. Highest score I ever got was on like 90s. Not a big deal, but is it really a good mark to get 70 points?
当然了，这可是数学哦，70分已经很高分了吧？
Bro, dude, I average like 70 to 80s. Well, a full mask is 120 points.
这种时候就应该把满分想象成100分。
Oh, so that one's different. You're just deceiving yourself.
不对，非要说的话是自欺欺人。
Right words though. Sounds more sad.
对了，云山，你考了几分来着？我太过在意自己的成绩了，没有听到老师念你的成绩。
The juvenile delivers his paper to the maiden.
去死！
It hurts. So why did you beat me?
满分120分，你居然考了114分，去死吧！
The maiden took over his exam paper. In the top right, 114 was noticeable, written by red pen. I got 118 points before, and this time I didn't follow my own plan to prepare the exam because of helping you to review. He lost 4 points. He lost 4 points doing that. Come on, it's not gonna hurt. Unless you're just really serious about it. So you shouldn't beat me. Although his words were refusing the maiden's behaviors, actually he felt very happy. It was the first that someone except his parents had cared about his grades since elementary school. What's more, she gave such interesting reaction on my grades. At this moment, the juvenile felt that it was wonderful to meet the maiden. I don't even study, you know, I never study. And imagine I study, I'll be up, man. You just gotta say that. Hey. So, are you planning to do nothing during the rare summer holidays?
有什么不好吗？无所事事可是学生在暑假里的特权。
Then you shouldn't lie on my legs. There's someone else in the cafe.
我听不见。
Lies! How could you? In a breath, summer holidays came. What was changing simultaneously with the date was the relationship between the juvenile and the maiden. Did not know from when. They started a date which was beyond people's expectation, but it seemed normal when you thought it over. Without unforgettable profession of love, arduous process, or something that could be seen as a right moment, they started to dating just because one simple sentence, that I like you, and they continued their pure affair in the summer holidays. Did not know from when, the relationship was acceptable for most people. Though it was about a girl loved by lots of people and a boy hated by lots of people. We promised to study here, didn't we?
不这样子说的话，
Oh dude,
女
that's
生
not
你
good.
是
If
不
you
会
study
答
too
应
much,
出
that's
来
not
的
good.
吧？
But hey, do whatever you want. My life is about not even studying at all. Anyway, you're right.
对吧？
Like, I just play games all day right now. That's what I'm doing. A cafe near Tangyan Town. They were snuggling up next to each other at the corner near the window. Exactly. The juvenile was drinking coffee and reading with Dunet, which was only available to read in holiday, while the maiden beside him was playing the phone with a hazy expression lying on his leg. The maiden name has been such a state since it's getting hot. Any movie do you want to see? We hang out for a date. Why not go to somewhere more suitable for dating, such as a cinema or
真的吗？
ETC?
云山，你愿意跟我去看电影？
Sure, anyone would. The maiden turns over suddenly from Juvenile's legs after hearing what he said. Then she gazed at the boy in front of him, the one who has become her boyfriend. If someone else calls me out, it does need use study as an excuse. But you're different to me. You're my girlfriend.
居然能从云山口中听到这么让人害羞的
Why
话！
am I saying this? Oh no. I shouldn't have the privilege to even read this. The maiden chuckled happily.
云山，你现在就这么喜欢我吗？来，告诉一下大姐姐。
Sister? Then we'd better break up.
开玩笑的，开玩笑的啦。
Me too.
云山，你说笑话的时候表情太认真了，根本看不出来你是在开玩笑。
Really?
你没有讲笑话的才能呢，云山。
You should have known this long before.
对呢，但即使如此，我还是喜欢上了这个不会讲笑话的冰山男呢。
It doesn't matter though. I don't know how to joke.
Huh?
You can do that. If I'm not happy or need some fresh air, your jokes or stories will be great.
哦吼，换而言之，少年你
They were at my arms suddenly, all of the people here.
是想跟我走到人生的终点吗？
Don't you want? The maiden wrapped him tighter and heard what he said, what he asked. Then she looked at him from below, smiled sweetly.
只要允山你希望的话，我会一直陪在你身边的。
Really?
不管周围的环境发生了多大的变化，不管周围的人们对我们有什么样的看法，即使我变成没有牙齿的老奶奶，
Sorry guys.
我也会陪在你的身
Skipped too
边的，
much?
老爷爷。
You're under 20 years old, so do you want to be a grandma so quickly?
我觉得人一辈子最美的承诺，就是愿意跟对方一起变老。
Really?
接受对方的优点跟缺点，跟对方一起随着时间的推移前进。当老的需要用拐杖来走路的时候，
I'm gonna
两人相依在一起，回忆着年轻时候的美好
turn
时
this down a
光
bit.。
这不是很
So,
浪漫的事情
her
吗？
voice is like, it's not as loud as Jing Zun's. Sounds right.
我喜欢你啊，允善。
Why do you say so suddenly?
我不是因为可怜你之前被人孤立的状态才注意到你，然后喜欢上你的。这一点，我希望你明白。
I know, you're not that kind of girl who uses emotion as a tool to pity someone.
我喜欢你啊，允善。
So do I. In the cafe, soft music and very intermittent conversations occur alternately. I said that wrong. Alternately. I don't know. And in the thousands of words, the juvenile and maiden expressed own emotion to each other again.
最近上映的电影挺多的呢，允善，你想看什么电影？
Whatever. What would you like?
你知道吗？我最讨厌说无所谓这3个字的人了。
Because he doesn't know. It can't be helped. I'm not that interested in movies.
好了，
It hurts.
对电影不感兴趣，为什么又提出来去看电影啊，笨蛋！
Watching movies is a fixed program between lovers.
就算是那样子，你不感兴趣的话，你也高兴不起来吧？
That is not the case.
嗯，
Only if come with you, any movie will be interesting. What's up?
最喜欢你了，云慎。